Hello everyone, I'm just driving down to Pilot Bay, Mount Maunganui. I'm going to try out my new ski. So I've got a SEA-DOO RXP, triple black again, love the black, love it. So this should be fun. Got to do the break-in though, so we'll see how we go with that. Isn't that pretty? Beautiful. Got the single seat on, but I've got a double seat too. Looks so good. Let's give it a go. Have a look at this. What a night to have a burn. It is so clean. It's crazy. I am sitting next to the mount in the harbour and there is not a drop of wind. It is beautiful. Have a look at this. Just so good. So as I said before, I've got a new RXP 300, so it's a triple black. I got a good deal on it. Guys at Action Sports Direct hooked me up, it's good. So I wanted to get this one to try it out. I'll talk about it a bit later on, but what I want to do now is go and give it a burn. It's pretty late at night. I should have about an hour of sunlight, so I'm going to try and do the break-in period. And the break-in's about 5 hours, which I'll talk about soon, but most of it's limited by the ECU, so I'll see how we go. It's amazing. I just can't get the smile off my face. So glass conditions, new ski. It's such a different experience. Obviously you come from an RXT, jumping on this, it's noticeably smaller. Hull shapes feels more deeper V. There's definitely more of a V, pronounced V in it. And even you can see when you're looking at your spray, it's spraying a little bit more up off the sides rather than across. Still across, but not as much as the RXT, so you notice that a little bit. Turns on a dime, like it turns and you turn it, it's turning. So you've got to be on your game, but the way you're seated, you've got this lock sort of mount and backrest, and it pushes you in, and if you just sort of crush the ski with your knees, you go with it. And I imagine if you had a sharp corner without meaning to do it, you'd be in trouble. You'd be ejected off this thing. But man, you just lean into the corner and go with it. So stoked. It's just so much different, and it's just so good conditions. So I think yeah, I don't know what to say yet. I'm in the break-in period, so I've got, I think, something like 5 hours on the ECU before it starts sort of taking some of the limitations off. So I don't think I can go into sport mode or anything yet. I've just got to make sure I alternate my RPM, which I'm doing. Not going up to max speed. I don't think it lets me go much higher than sort of 85, 90 anyway. I'll just keep doing that, put the hours on. I think full power comes at 10 hours, so I'll just keep going with it. Get used to the ski, get used to how it handles before we get to the 10, so it's probably a wise thing that I don't get full power straight off the bat. So, so much fun. Alright, let's get it going again. Geez, she's still dusty. I haven't even had a chance to clean it. We're straight out, gassed up, and out we went. Having a chill on the ski. There's Bruno. What do you think, mate? Definitely a lot more tippy. Not too bad, still stable, but you can feel it. It's nowhere near as stable as the RXT. I like it, it's good. Done. Work it.
Daylight on the horizon, shining back at me, makes me think of my baby coming home to me. Down the riverside flowing, no, she's still there. I can't see where she's going, but I hope it's near.
So I don't know if anyone saw, but I actually had my first drone crash a few weeks ago. Crashed my little, I've been using minis, so I had a mini SE and a mini Pro 3. The Pro 3 was perfect and I got really used to launching it and catching it off the ski. Probably had a few hundred without any issue. So I actually crashed it trying to fly it through this old barge and I got a bit too confident. Retrieved it, but it was stuffed. So I've actually got an SEA-DOO S, which is a bigger one. Not a hugely expensive drone, but more than the mini Pro 3. Definitely a lot heavier, bigger. I've got the intelligent battery packs, supposed to last longer, so I've just had a first ride with that. Definitely more anxiety trying to fly a bigger, larger drone, particularly when you're trying to catch it off the back of the ski. And what happens is when you catch it, you spin it and it turns it off, but this one's got a lot more power, so you kind of got to really grab it and grip it and then hold it and get it down. But I haven't had any issues. It's 2 or 3 now without any issues. I've yet to see the footage, so I'll see if it's any better than the Mini Pro 3. Mini Pro 3 was amazing for a little drone. I've got the DJI RC, which is compatible with the SEA-DOO S as well, so I've managed to transfer that over. That's really handy. So using that, that's going really well. So it's the morning now, Saturday morning, and I'm at Hunters Creek. Sitting on the RXP, so this is its sort of second or third hour of break-in. I did about an hour the other night till I ran out of light. Just pure glass the other night, so I've cruised across the harbour. There was more chop, quite a few boats heading out fishing, so a lot more cross wake just getting across here. So that was an opportunity to see how the how the hull went across that. And I'm completely honest with you, coming from the RXT to this, the ST3 hull, you get used to it, but you kind of get used to having that rider input. And just noticing this when I was cruising through some chop, I was just going straight through or over. I wasn't having to juggle it at all in the handles. So noticeable on the rider input side of things. We'll see how it goes when you're getting into some bigger chop, maybe ocean chop. I don't know how, we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping that the T3Rs are a bit more favourable for me. But yeah, definitely notice I don't have to juggle the handles as much as the ST3. Again, you get used to it. Like the RXT, you just becomes what it is. But you have to be on your game when you're cruising along, and then suddenly there's something a wake that cruises along and it'll just jag. And if you're used to it and you're on your game, it's not a problem. I haven't had an issue with it, but it's definitely a positive so far with this. It's obviously a lighter ski, probably about a foot shorter, so I lose that sort of platform at the back in terms of being able to film on. So I liked the RXT, or I do like the RXT for the fact that I can spin around and do a lot of filming. I have a link attachment box, and just that big back platform, I can just chuck the drone up and sit around in confidence, and it's with those extra chines, and it just sits flat when I'm at 0 speed or low speed. So great for filming off, very stable. This is definitely a lot more sort of back and forth, choppy, not as stable, but I might have to just change my approach to filming. Shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, I mean, you can see if you look at this, sort of front bit here, you can sort of see you've got this sort of padded ergo lock situation going on, which don't have in the RXT. So it locks you in big time. Got the handlebars, check out the handlebars, they look cool. I thought you could adjust them, but must be wrong. And the front just looks, I like it, looks very masculine and sort of stands out, the black, and yeah, really good. But this locking in sort of ergo lock feature is not on the RXT, but you notice it when you're on this, because obviously the turning, when you turn on this, you pull these handlebars a little bit, she's turning. And if you feel quite secure because you're kind of tucked in using your knees to hug it. So yeah, I like that. And yeah, definitely a difference with the hull is that when you go to turn, it goes, and you just lean with it, and man, it just cuts like butter when it's glass. So really enjoying that. Hoping the light element of the ski is good for in the waves as well. For don't jump your ski, by the way, but if you do by accident, then yeah, maybe that'll be a bit more fun than the RXT. The RXT was okay when you jumped by accident, but this one is probably going to be a bit better, I'd say. So we'll see. What else? Not much else really. It's a bit early. It's only sort of hour 3 in terms of the break-in. So I'd really want to get the power going. So I guess once I get to hour 10, I get full juice. And that'll be interesting to see whether there's any difference between this and the RXT. RXT went like a cat when you put the trigger down, so this thing probably will too. I don't know whether the lightweight difference or the hull will make a difference in terms of speed, maybe whole shot. We'll find out. Yeah, so again, first impressions, I mean, it's only really 2.5 hours into the break-in, but definitely a different ski to the RXT. But I'm liking it. break-in, hour 4, going so well. Much different ski than the RX, that's for sure. There's a few ramps out here today, so I may accidentally leave the water, disengage the pump, accidentally take air, and I will report back. That's about a wrap. I'm about hour 5, so I've only really done half of the break-in, but I can tell you it's a way different ski. Definitely feels like more of a fun ski. Just so much more loose. Turning wise, you just turn, it goes. So you have to hold on, but you can't get the smile off your face. I feel a lot more confident on the ski than I did on the RXT. So just when you go to turn, even if you're not quite ready or there's a bit of chop that you're not fully ready for, it just feels more confident, so you don't feel like you're going to get thrown off. You feel like you're in a better position when you're seated in those ergonomic seats and tucked in. You feel like you're actually sitting on top of the ski a bit more than the RXT, so you're actually in a lower position on the RXT. But yeah, on the RXT, when you hit some cross chop or something that's you're not ready for, you have to be on your game, because it can feel like it's going to inject you. But yeah, hey, going through chop, track's a lot better. Definitely haven't got that length that the RXT is, so you don't feel like you have that same front to back stability as much. It's a lighter ski, so pushing it on and off the trailer is a bit different. I've got a bit of a grade in my garage, so to get my ski up, I've got to manually push it up this grade to push it in and get over the lip. Which the RXT I can just do, but if I don't have enough Weet-Bix in the morning, sometimes it can come back at me, which is always great fun. So the RXP I don't have that issue with, it just goes straight up. So there's probably, I don't know how many pounds or kgs there is less than the RXT, but it feels like a noticeable amount. And even when you're getting on and off your trailer again, it's more manoeuvrable. If you are in the air for jump, don't jump your ski. But if you are jumping by mistake, you can manoeuvre yourself a lot better in the air. So it's noticeable. I can push the ski back and forth to make sure I get a good soft landing, which is a little bit harder on the RXT. You can do it, but it doesn't feel as manoeuvrable for sure. It feels like a one-person ski. So no, I've got a second seat attachment which can go on the back. I haven't done that yet with someone, so I don't know how that's going to go, whether you want to be that person on the back. It does have a rodeo grip, so I'll have to report back as to how that is for a second person. Obviously the RXTs are awesome for 2 or 3 people. It's very, very stable at low speeds. RXP is noticeably less stable, obviously with the hull shape. I think it's a bit thinner, hasn't got those chines. So when you've stopped, or you're at low speed, it's just nowhere near as stable. RXT is like a freaking barge when you've stopped. So good for filming for me too. Like I can actually spin around on the RXT and just basically there's this huge platform I can throw a drone up, and it's very stable. You can sit there with a controller and feel very confident. It's a bit harder on the RXP. I've had to adjust how I'm filming. Haven't done a lot yet off a drone, but you don't have that same stability or platform. I guess it just depends on what you're into. If you want something that's big, that you can carry someone on, have confidence, I'd probably look at the RXT. RXP is just more of a solitary sort of person ski. It's get out there and have fun. I mean, look, I'll be interested to see what the fuel economy is like, because I've noticed it's going down a lot quicker, and I haven't even got into sport mode yet with the break-in, so that'll be interesting to see how the fuel economy is. It'd be nice to do a long ride just to get a gauge again of how that hull operates in the chop, ocean chop. and also to see what the fuel economy is like comparatively. RXT was really good on fuel. If you had an eco mode and you went long distance, you go a long way in that thing. And I have had a GTI, a couple of GTIs, GTR, and I know they've got a smaller fuel tank, but even in eco mode, it seemed to go through fuel quicker if you're in eco mode on the RXT. And yeah, someone can pitch in and tell me if I'm wrong there, but it's noticeable. Not much else to report. I'm really enjoying it. I've obviously got both skis right now, so it's been good to be able to do a jump on one to the other and just have a direct comparison, rather than sort of getting one and then getting used to the other one, so to speak. So RXPs also, they both look amazing. I love the triple black. There's something about it. They had an Apex model in there. The green looked good too, but I do like the black. Looks good. In the end, it doesn't really matter what you're on, in my mind. Like, just getting on the water, having fun. Doesn't matter how fast you're going, how quickly you can turn, whatever. It's getting out there and getting on the water, going and experiencing places. That's what it's all about for me. I enjoy the kit on the skis and trying different ones out, but I think in the end, getting out there with friends just enables you to go places that you couldn't do otherwise. I'm sitting here on an island, literally 5 minutes from my boat ramp. Just did some wave jumps and fluffing around. It's so easy to do. Just take your ski down to the ramp. An older ski, a smaller ski, whatever you are riding, it's not about what you're on, it's more about what you're doing with it and what it can enable you to do. So that's my 2 cents on it. Otherwise, thanks for watching again, and I'll see you next time.